Hello! Welcome to my igloo. Today I'm gonna show you this kit from Stay Crafty. This is the colors I'm gonna use for this month. And this is the flower that I'm gonna be embroidering today. And I will talk about the kit towards the video. So let's go! Okay, as I told you, this this kit was gifted to me. Is from the brand Stay Crafty. Stay Crafty. Oh God! And they partner with a Mexican brand. These hilos flojos. They made the floss and they dyed with natural pigments. And this kit is to work the technique of embroidery in paper, and it was a journey. I'm not gonna lie. It was very interesting journey because it's a material that you have to be careful with, because it's not like when you work with fabric that you can easily remove stitches. It's a very interesting material to work with. I never even thought that would be possible. It was a bit of a struggle, but the result was completely worth it. And this white floss that I'm using here is DMC, but the rest of the colors, they're all with these natural pigments, and they're a bit thicker than the DMC floss, and of course they have way more friction, so was a bit heavy on my hands. But as I told you, the result is completely worth it. The colors turned out beautiful, and it was interesting to work with different kind of floss, especially because we have one of the classes with the video pre-record classes when the owner of the brand, she explained how they work the entire process of from where they get the pigments to all the process of making the dye, and how they also make the floss, because it's all natural materials. I don't know how to put that in words, but well, I guess you get the point. And yes, the floss has some bumps around, so you have to be a bit more careful. But as I told you, it's beautiful. I have some months already done, and if you wondering about the rest of the months, well, I didn't record the first 3 months because I wasn't planning on do anything with it. But then I thought that it will be super cool to make these videos, and I have the footage for April, but I didn't get the time to edit the video, and these videos are very long. I'm gonna have a fun time editing all of this, because I have a footage from I record all the time I embroider, and each month is around 3 hours, 3.5 hours working. So yeah, and here I'm struggling with the needle, because it's not like the cross stitch needle that the eye is very wide. So I'm using this other piece of floss to get the floss through the needle, because there's no other way. And with the other floss. I don't know how the teacher did. I don't know how she managed to get the floss through the needle without any other help. All my respect to that teacher. She really blows my mind with her technique and her patience. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna talk for the rest of the video, but it's gonna be a bit of a time slap, because as I told you, is almost 3 hours of recording, and I don't think anyone will want to see me, to watch me do repeatedly the exact same thing for 3 hours. So I'm gonna have to edit this video in a way that you can still see the process, but without all the whole full time, because as it's a symmetrical shape, it's very repetitive. It's so fun to do, but I don't think it's that much fun to watch. This part of the process, when the floss is already finished and you have to put the next piece of floss, oh my god, that was another struggle, because sometimes the knot gets right where the next hole is, and you have to really be careful with that, because if the knot of course cannot be in the hole, because it will show in the front of the project. So that was also very interesting to learn, especially with the other floss, because it was a bit difficult to work with in this part of the process. As I told you, it has a lot of friction, so it's not easy to to pull and stretch and everything you can do with other kind of floss when you make knots. So yeah, that was also that was also a bit of a struggle. And just like that, we arrived to the very last white petal. It's a bit hard to see this floss in camera, because it's basically an almost the same color of the background in the drawing, but it looks pretty beautiful in person. I'm gonna finish the stitch with this floss, with making few passes under the previous stitches, so it can be secure in the back. You can make very standard on there, and in that loop you pull the needle through and make that knot. I did that few times to make sure that all the stitches are secure, and then I changed the floss, and here we have the first part of our flower. All the white petals done. It's looking very pretty. So to start this next part, I didn't make the knot between the DMC floss and the other kind of floss because the thickness and texture is very different, and that makes the knot will not stay on place. So what I did was start with the new floss. When I work with only that floss and change colors with another floss, the same thickness, the same texture, I can do the knots without any problem. And here is the same process. I choose this purple color for the small areas, and as you can see, you can work with a not so long piece of floss because this floss has the tendency to tangle a lot, so I have to work with smaller pieces to avoid any unwanted knots, because otherwise it will be a nightmare to work with it. And also I have to keep the tension very even, because if you leave one of the stitches too loose, the other one will not fall in the place it should be for the shape you wanted. And because of the friction and the thickness, is way harder to pull the thread, so you can have a flat and even stitch. That's why I have to always be checking on the tension with both hands, in the front, in the back, with my fingers, with the needle. And another thing is it's very easy to get lost with the pricking when you have to turn back and forth the piece of paper. So I have to double check sometimes, and even with that I end up putting the stitches in the wrong holes. And also I have to make sure that I have enough floss to make the next knot, because if the strand is too short, it's almost impossible. I struggle a lot. I struggle a lot for not being careful with the amount of floss I left. Sometimes I even have to remove a few stitches so I have enough enough room to make the knots. And here I finish this part to start the French knots. And if you have done French knots before, you know there's a love and hate relationship with it, because they look so beautiful. It's a technique that really makes special details, but oh my god, they are hard to learn. And with these floss, I found that they get very plump and pretty, but you have to be extra careful, because as you have to pull a bit harder, they can get all destroyed basically in the final pull. So no, that was a nightmare. And as they are all flowers, I have to do a lot of French knots. They end up looking beautiful, but my hands, my poor fingers, they suffer a lot with it. But again, completely worth it. And there they are, looking all beautiful in the center of the flower. It was painful. It was painful for my fingers, but as you can see, the the result is completely worth it. I will say it again and again and again. And also, one thing with these French knots is that if you pull too hard, they're gonna rip off the paper and you're gonna have to. Oh no, it's a whole mess. A whole mess. It's a nightmare. It happened to me once, but well, it happens a few times actually. But oh my god, they rip off the paper and it's so hard to detangle these flows. I have patience to detangle flows, but with this I was like almost at my limit of patience. And let's jump to the very last color we're gonna use for this flower, this yellow floss for the details on the outside. One very important thing the teacher told us was that we have to be very organized with the stitches. You cannot just put it in random ways because they're gonna clump together and you're gonna lose the figure you're making. So yeah, that's something I had to keep in mind as well, to organize the flows as I was stitching, to make sure with sometimes like with my nail putting them in their right spot so they make place for each one of the stitches, because that's how you have a very nice and flat final piece. Well, I lied to you because the final color was this orange one that you can barely see. Actually, even in real life, is not that noticeable. It looks more like if it was a purple, deep purple, but from up close you can tell it is a dark orange. And this is actually the final floss I use for this one. And here we have it almost finished. As you can see, the back always look like a piece on their own, as the teacher says, and it's so pretty. It's finally finished, and we have less than 20 minutes of footage from the almost 3 hours I record. Yay! Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!